My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance.
In the weight room.
Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
And good evening. Welcome here to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. Glad you're alongside. We bring you the South Fulton Rebels taking on the West Prairie Cyclones here this evening. Do want to thank a lot of the fine folks making our broadcast possible, including the Community News Brief, a free publication distributed over 68 locations in Bushnell, Macomb, Colchester, and Industry, Adair, and more towns throughout the area. It provides local news to McDonough County and parts of Fulton County every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. To submit a press release or get advertising information for the locally owned publication, contact Lynn at 309-333-8245 or email communitybrief@gmail.com. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH Events live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer our area teams on to victory. Bushnell's only furniture store will be celebrating its 60th anniversary in June. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the county and offers top-notch customer service, free delivery within 40 miles, and the best in home appliance repair in the area. For everything you need to furnish your new home or replenish an old one, stop and see them at 41 West Main Street or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at www.mnbfurnitureinc.com. You can also call 309-772-2111.
You know, you see fires on TV all the time. You don't understand what the families are really going through until you've lived it. The day before the fire, life was good. We went to bed, we woke up, and we had nothing. If it was not for Country Financial, we would still have nothing.
And back here, let's give you the starting lineups for the teams in this JV contest. It'll be Lauren Powell, a sophomore, also Ava Beck, a freshman, Grace Vanonik, a sophomore, Maddie Hood, a sophomore, Sadie Allen, a sophomore, and Jessica Fackrell, a sophomore. Jersey Brown, the libero tonight. She is a freshman for the West Prairie Cyclones. Starting tonight for the South Fulton Lady Rebels under head coach Aaron Posey is Briley France, a freshman, joined by Kristen Essex, a sophomore, Rebecca Busby, a freshman Tommy Jo Gorsuch, also a freshman libero Daisy Ratcliffe, Marissa Lawson, a freshman, and Allie Fosdick, a freshman. So a young squad for the South Fulton Lady Rebels, clad in the purple with the green highlights, I guess you could say it. The Cyclones in the, and actually Janie Phelps actually in the left back here for the Cyclones tonight. They're in their, I guess that's a dark gray with the black numerals trimmed in white, the black trunks this evening for the the West Prairie Cyclones here tonight. Longtime head coach Terry Paul, joined by Caleb Hall, Drew Snyder, and Patty Clark, as we're getting ready to get things underway here this evening. And you see our new fun feature for volleyball. The old man's getting to do the scoreboard, and we'll see how that works tonight. Again, glad you're alongside on TSSR Game Time Live. Fackrell will go out and Jersey Brown, the libero, in. Serving now will be Tommy Jo Gorsuch for the Rebels. She'll send the serve off of Brown, popped up to Vanonik on the outside. Allen tips it through and quickly up to Lawson, bumping it through his Fosdick. It'll drop down and good. And South Fulton goes on top 1-0. Serve again off of Brown, popped up by Vanonik. bumped over by Powell and taken in the back row. They'll tap it up to France, and hitting it into the net was Fosdick. And a side out to the Cyclones. They will tie things at 1 apiece. Substitution, Maddie Hood will come in. Janie Phelps will go out for the Cyclones here. And back to serve, Grace Vanonic for West Prairie. Vanonic, serve in drops. A bandage up and ace for Grace Vanonic and makes it a 2-1 score here. The Cyclones up by 1. Serve by Vanonic again, back row. That's going to be popped sideways by Essex and out of bounds. It is 3-1. Cyclones lead. Vanonic serves it across, picked up by Essex, helped out by Busby, and bumped over by Gorsuch. Hood tried to save it, couldn't get it, so that'll earn a side out over to the Rebels. 3-2, 1 point advantage here for West Prairie in game number 1. Serve that one across the net, off the hands of Lauren Powell. The serve from Lawson ties it at 3-3. Lawson will eye it up again, ready to let fly with it. Brings the low line drive off Powell to the right side. They'll set it for Beck. Beck will hit it across. And now tipped back over by France, played by Brown. They'll set it to the left side. Beck with it, down and in the back row, off the hands of Busby, and it makes it a side out over to West Prairie. Another substitution, Kinley Welsh will come in. Lauren Powell will go out for West Prairie. Terry Paul using a lot of folks in and out here. Ava Beck to serve for West Prairie. Down the left-hand side of the free throw lane. Her serve into the back row. Busby going to bring it up to the net. Hood going to tap it down. Tapped back by Welsh and played at the net there. Essex working with it. And Hood trying to bring it back. And actually, they're going to whistle one of these Cyclones in the net. It was Maddie Hood. So the side out brings it over to South Fulton and ties things up at 4-4. Fosdick serves it. Her serve off of Brown. High in the air to Vanonic. Vanonic going to bring it to Welsh. Lobs into the back corner. Past a diving Lawson and good. Side out back over to West Prairie. Just Fackrell in. And Jersey Brown will go out as Sadie Allen comes back to serve it here. 5-4. 1 point lead for Cyclones in game number 1. Allen serve into the net and will earn a side out right back over to South Fulton. Brown back in to replace her as libero. Serving now is Briley France for South Fulton. A 5-5 tie in game 1. Her serve off of Welsh. Saved by Hood, and now Brown will bump it through. Played by Busby up front. France going to set it to the outside. Tapping it through is Gorsuch, but a little bit too much muscle on it. And knocks it out of bounds. Side out back over to West Prairie. And Hood will go out. Janie Phelps will come in to serve it now for West Prairie. They lead it here 6-5. Phelps eyes it up. Booms a line drive serve. Popped up in the back row by Lawson. Brown with it to Vanonic. Set outside for Welsh. She'll hit it off the blocks. France underneath it. Busby helps it out. And now tapped into the net by Gorsuch. 7-5. Cyclones here by 2. Phelps, kind of a sidewinder off her hand, brought across by Fosdick. Vanonic to the left side. She'll set up for the back corner. That one painted the corner by Welsh. In and good. It is 8-5. 8-5. Phelps will eye it up and ready to send it again here. She walks to it, back row, picking on Lawson in the back row again, helped by Gorsuch. Busby sends it across, and Beck brings it up front. Vanonic sends it through. Busby tapped across. Phelps takes it there to Vanonic, set for Fackrell. She'll drop it over, picked up by Essex, and set back for her from France. Brown takes it for West Prairie. Vanonic up for Welsh. She'll tip And France takes it. Busby up for Essex. She'll bump it over. Beck's underneath it for West Prairie. Venonic to the back row attack by Beck. And that one high and across. Phelps going to save it. Brown helps. And Welsh will bump it through. Deep back row off the hands of Fosdick. France now tapped across. Brown underneath it for West Prairie. They're going to set it up for Beck. She'll hammer it again off the arm of Lawson. And down it is 9-5 West Prairie. We've got a substitution. The libero checking in. Daisy Ratcliffe into the back row now. And the official making sure the lineup is set. As folks, they didn't have much practice time. Some of these girls just 3 games or 3 practices or 4 before they got to do this. Back again goes Phelps. She'll unload one off Ratcliffe. Welcomes her to the game. Now France tipped over by Gorsuch. Brown takes it. Venonic flips it in and good. And the Cyclones take a 10-5 advantage here. 10-5, 5-point advantage here. And serve again by Phelps. She'll run it through. Back her off Ratcliffe. Sideways. Up to France. Gorsuch. Tapped. And now Venonic to Fackrell. Ratcliffe in the back row. Right has it. Lawson across. Phelps to Venonic. Set outside for Welsh. She'll tip and nearly drop it in. Beck recovers it in the middle back row for West Prairie. Cyclones load up to Welsh. Off the hands. Back across by France. And loaded up again. Beck. Back row attack. Little too tall. And out of bounds. We'll learn a side out over for South Fulton. It is 10-6 West Prairie in the advantage in this game number 1. It is best 2 out of 3 falls. Essex will serve it now for South Fulton off the side of her hand, and that'll earn a side out right back over to West Prairie. And Kinley Welsh will come back to serve it now for West Prairie. She readies to send it with an 11-6 West Prairie lead here in game number 1. Her serve off of Ratcliffe. Lawson, 10 over by Busby. Phelps underneath it. Now to Venonic outside for Beck. Hits it into the net. Side out right back for South Fulton. It's going to be Rebecca Busby back to serve here, and Ratcliffe goes out as coming back in will be Fosdick for South Fulton. Welsh is out. Lauren Powell back in the back row for West Prairie. Busby serves. Line drive. Deep back row taken by Brown. Up it comes for Beck. She'll tap it. Little too long and wide. Out of bounds. And that's 2 in a row for South Fulton. They cut it down to 11-8. Busby serves off of Brown. Tipped over by Venonic, but out of bounds. Sent it a little bit long. The lead down to 2. It is 11-9. 11-9. Busby sets it up again. Readies to let fly with it into the back row. Brown up on top. Venonic out of the left side to Beck. This time she'll kill him softly with her song. Drops it in for a 12-9 lead. Sadie Allen checking in now as Fackrell goes out and Brown goes back to serve. They do kind of that libero swap around. Jersey Brown serves it here for West Prairie. 12-9 lead. Brown back row popped up by Busby. Gorsuch is underneath it. Fosdick bumps it over and Powell takes it back row for West Prairie. Set for Allen. She will tip and Gorsuch takes it right side. France back to her. Tries to cut court. And Allen's got it now to Venonic. Allen back over to Gorsuch. Busby, or actually France takes it. Gorsuch bumps it over. Beck to Venonic. She'll attack with it off the hands of Gorsuch and down 13-9 Cyclones lead. Cyclones by 4. As Jersey Brown back once again. Let's fly with it off of the back row. And up front now, tapped over and out of bounds. And Fosdick, a little too much on it. Brown again, this time back over the head of Busby and out of bounds for a minute. She thought about taking it and then said, oh, wait, that's about my head. 14-10, 4-point advantage here for West Prairie in game 1. As Tommy Jo Gorsuch serves for South Fulton, high in the air off the side of her hand. And into that, 15-10 West Prairie. Maddie Hood in. Janie Phelps will go out for West Prairie. as Grace Vanonic will come back and serve it. Vanonic to the jump serve, screaming across, and that one off the hands of Essex and down. 16-10 West Prairie. Vanonic trying the jump serve. Wasn't the hardest jump serve you'll ever see, but effective nonetheless. Brings it through, and that one, Essex pops it up. Gorsuch sets it in the middle. Fosdick launches the high looper. A high pop-up. Makes it 17-10. Vanonic again, line drive. That one, kind of the old PE punch shot by Essex. And we've got a timeout. We've got a timeout here, 18-10 in game one. West Prairie in the lead. Let's take this timeout on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
During this COVID pandemic, it is important you take care of your health, especially your heart health. Do not ignore the signs of a heart attack or stroke. If you have health concerns, schedule an appointment with your provider, and always, in case of an emergency, call 911. This message brought to you by McDonough District Hospital and Blessing Health System. See for yourself why Blessing Health System is the leader in cardiology and pulmonology services. Appointments available inside MDH. Learn more at blessinghealth.org or mdh.org.
Welcome back here. The Cyclones leading 18-10 right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Tri-County Seeds, your local golden harvest seed advisor, located in Scioto. Rooted in genetics, agronomy, and service for over 10 years. Contact Nate Todd at 309-333-3437 for all your golden harvest corn, soybean, and seed treatment needs. Vanonic again, off Busby in the back row. Fosdick helps it across. Brown takes it for West Prairie. They're going to load left side. That is back off the face of Ratcliffe and down. And it makes it 19-10. Vanonic comes to it, brings it across. Off Ratcliffe. Gorsuch can't get out of the net, so the Cyclones expand the lead out to 20-10. And we got a substitution as coming in for South Fulton is McKenna Abernathy. She'll replace Briley France. Vanonic into it again. Back row, Ratcliffe takes it right at the line. Fosdick up with it. That one's not going to get across. 21-10 West Prairie. And Vanonic with a chance here to maybe finish it off in this game number one. To it and drops it in front of Ratcliffe. Bandage up an ace for Grace Vanonic, 22-10. Eyes it, sends it, and off, brought back across. Busby brings it over, out of bounds, 23-10. 23-10 here, 13-point advantage for West Prairie. Vanonic again with it. That one off Ratcliffe. High in the air. Abernathy helps it out. Fosdick hits it into the net. Game point at 24-10. Vanonic. Walks to it. Brings it through. Ratcliffe up with it. Abernathy high in the air. Fosdick over to Beck. Now they're going to bring it back from her from Vanonic. Ratcliffe underneath it. Gorsuch pops it high in the air. Fosdick can't get it out of the net. Game number one in the books for West Prairie as they win the first one 25-10 over South Fulton. You are, of course, listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented right here by MDH. We'll be back in just a moment. Yeah, again, listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented to you by the folks at MD.
As we work together to stop the spread of COVID-19, McDonough District Hospital wants you to know that your health and safety are our number one priority.
Our primary care providers are here to take care of you and your family's total well-being. Telehealth capabilities and the MDH Convenience Clinic all provide ease of access to our wide range of services.
All of this because we are committed to providing you quality and compassionate care that you have come to trust from us.
McDonough District Hospital. More than hospital care, a hospital caring.
Get dinner to the table quickly. no matter how busy your day's been. True convection cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True convection cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Well, we were camping, and then I got a phone call from my neighbor and said that we got hit by a storm. He said, "You better come home because there's no roof." He said, "I look up and see the sky." He didn't know what you were going to do, where you're going to go, you know, but Country Financial took care of us.
We anticipate something that we hope never happens, but when it happens, we are there to make good on our promise.
And we are back here, the Cyclones winning game number 1. We do want to thank some more of the fine folks making our broadcast possible, including the Bushnell Banking Center, a branch of Raritan State Bank located at 360 South Green Street in Bushnell, offering full-service banking and loan services for all your banking needs. Come visit the bank of friendly service or call them at 309-772-2345. Good luck, Cyclones. Bushnell Banking Center, equal housing lender, and member FDIC. This West Prairie game stream is made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems to the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. On the floor for game number 2 for the South Fulton Rebels, it is Marissa Lawson, Kristen Essex, Tommy Jo Gorsuch, Rebecca Busby, Briley France, and Allie Fosdick. Serving for the Cyclones will be Grace Vanonic to get game number 2 underway. Vanonic served out game number 1, a 25-10 win here for West Prairie as they are ready to eye up that one. Serve into the back row. Busby underneath it. France going to tap it over. Beck's got it for West Prairie. She'll be set up and slice it into the back row right between Busby and Essex. And the Cyclones take the lead at 1-0. On the floor for the Cyclones, Lauren Powell, Grace Vanonic, and libero Jersey Brown, Sadie Allen, Ava Beck, and Maddie Hood. Served by Vanonic, a little short. Lawson's got it. France to the right side. Gorsuch cross court, and Powell up underneath it. Vanonic going to bring it back for Sadie Allen. Pounds it hard, but into the net. And South Fulton will get a side out. It'll come back to them. It'll make it a 1-1 tie here in game number 2. Again, best 2 out of 3 falls. Gorsuch, high, deep floater off of Brown. Vanonic up to Hood, who will bump it through. And Busby and Lawson, or Essex rather, couldn't decide who was going to get it. Drops it between them. It is 2-1. Kinley Welsh in, Lauren Powell out. For West Prairie, serving now is Ava Beck. Beck eyes, flies, and brings it deep back row. Essex up with it. Fosdick helps it out, and now Lawson brings it across. Hood can't quite get a hand on it, and a side out right back to the Rebels. Rebels tied at 2-2. It was tied fairly early, actually about midway through the game. For the Cyclones pulled away. Lawson unloads a screaming line drive off Brown. Up to Allen for the right side attack. Past Lawson and Busby and down, and the Cyclones get it right back. 3-2, 1-point advantage now for West Prairie. Annika Clark making her first appearance. As Sadie Allen back to serve. Allen brings a serve, tips the top of the net. The live and let serve drops in for a 4-2 West Prairie advantage. Allen again. Made a little adjustment. Brings it off Busby, back row. Gorsuch helps it out. Now Fosdick. And Beck's got it in the back row, left side. She'll be helped out there by Vanonic and then hammers it across. Busby over to France, back over, and high deep and generally unplayable. 5-2, 3-point advantage for West Prairie here in game number 2. Sadie Allen again. That one a little short, and we've got an illegal. And I thought the way the official did that everybody was in wrong rotation, but nope, it wasn't. Just West Prairie. Looks like Maddie Hood was in the wrong spot. Allen out and Brown in for West Prairie. 5-3, 2-point lead here for West Prairie in game 2. Fosdick is back with it. That one going to be into the net for a side out for West Prairie. They lead 6-3. Janie Phelps will come in as Maddie Hood will go out. And Phelps will come in to serve. Served off 4 or 5 straight, and I'm a little partial to her. Yes, that is my daughter. And probably not happy that I mentioned it. Ratcliffe into the game, picks it up. Gorsuch now to Essex, and going to drop it in front of Phelps and good. Earns a side out back over to South Fulton. France brings it to Brown. Vanonic going to help it out. Beck, the back row attack off Ratcliffe. Needs help from Lawson. Tried the nice try at it, but couldn't gather it. 7-4, right back over. It comes to West Prairie. Kinley Welsh will serve it now here for West Prairie. 7-4, they lead it in game number 2. West Prairie with advantage 1-0. Welsh off of Gorsuch. France going to help it out. They'll bring it through Gorsuch right at the back line. Welsh is there. And they bring it up to Beck. Beck off of France, off shoulder. That's legal. And Busby trying to get it over. Hits it into the net after a nice play by Essex. And West Prairie will make it 8-4. That is indeed entirely legal. Off the shoulder. I've seen it off the foot, too. Now the serve right through and good. Welsh bandage up an ace for Kinley Welsh. Welsh high and deep, and that one a little deep and wide, going out of bounds. So it'll be 9-5. Side out back over to South Fulton. And Lauren Powell will come in. Welsh will go out. South Fulton will serve. Essex back to serve it. I do want to say thank you to my camera person, Grayson Welsh. Doing a fantastic job tonight. Serve from Essex to Brown. And now up Veronica Clark. She'll bring it through. Gorsuch underneath it. France going to bring it back to her to the right. And Gorsuch now sets it out for Brown. Tipped across by Vanonic. Got him. As Grace Vanonic drops it in, and the Cyclones into double digits at a 10-5 lead. Allen in. Clark out, and Brown back to serve. 10-5 West Prairie, game number 2. Brown from Ratcliffe. Phelps underneath it to Vanonic. She'll back set it for Allen. Partially blocked. And Busby hits it off of Busby with the kiss and makes it 11-5. Brown. This time to Lawson. Needs help with it. France going to bring it back to her. Lawson across, and Powell takes it. Vanonic set up for Beck. The long wind up. A little too long and out. And 11-6 side out over here for South Fulton. Allie Fosdick comes in as Ratcliffe goes out and Busby back to serve. 5-point advantage here for West Prairie in game 2. Her serve just across the net. Beck not able to handle it. Just one of those that got across the net, rolled off the table. Busby again. This time Powell had to back up to get it. Vanonic sets it. Beck will bring it through and popped high by Essex off the ceiling. France is there. And Fosdick helps it across. Brown up to the net. Vanonic tips it in and good. Set him up, knock him down, and makes it 12-7 as Maddie Hood will come in. Phelps will go out, and serving now is Grace Vanonic. Vanonic walks to it, line drive, drops it by Gorsuch. The seeing eye serve makes it a 13-7 advantage. 13-7. And coming to it once again is Vanonic. She'll bring it through, and another one in and good. It's a touchdown lead for West Prairie at 14-7. Won the first one, 25-10. Grace Vanonic high in the air with it again. And that one a little short. Lawson to France, just tips it. Now Brown to France, or to Vanonic rather, to Hood. Could not quite pull the hood over their eyes. And hits it out of bounds. Side up makes it 14-8. Tommy Jo Gorsuch, the serve for South Fulton. Her serve high and offside of her hand. Venonic had to take it. Allen to Beck and Gorsuch underneath and in the middle. Fosdick going to set for France. And up to Brown. Brown and tipped over by Allen. Lawson to Gorsuch. Bumped across by Fosdick. Nice save at the back row by Lauren Powell. Out for Beck. And dug by Busby. Gorsuch back for Fosdick. That one, Lauren Powell, yep, they're going to say the down official said that was in and good, and it was. I got to give them credit on that one. See, I do give the officials credit once in a while. 14-9, 5-point advantage. As Gorsuch brings it. Off Powell, high in the air to Venonic, tips it over. France going to say, have it right back. Up in the air, Brown bumps to Beck. Beck brings it back row and high in the air off Essex. Gorsuch for Fosdick, or for Brown. Venonic up for Hood, and that one Fosdick gobbled up and knocked it down. It is 14-10. They've cut the lead down to 4 here. Gorsuch to Powell, saved back row by Beck. Venonic going to bring it across, and Busby underneath it. Lawson for Fosdick, high in the air. And Powell brings it up to Venonic, loaded for Beck. Helped back over by France. Venonic high in the air with it. Brown for Venonic, and she'll bring it over off Busby. High for Gorsuch. She'll get it up near the net. And Ava Beck says no deposit, no return. Knocks it down for a 15-10 side out for West Prairie. Welsh in, Powell out for the Cyclones. And Beck loads it up from the left side, 15-10. West Prairie leads here. Her serve. France going to send it right back, and Venonic pops it high. Brown now outside. Allen on the right. And had an illegal set. I think Brown was a little too far. She was over the front line when she did that. So that'll earn the side out back for South Fulton. 15-11 lead. And Lawson, hard smash off the arms of Ava Beck. Cuts the lead down to 15-12. We've got a timeout by West Prairie. We'll step aside as well. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented to you by MDH. Don't let the varmints and creepy crawlies get the best of you. Contact Beck Pest Control in Colchester. Beck Pest Control can let you sleep easy when the lights are out, knowing you have no uninvited guests running around. Contact them at 309-313-5521. That's Beck Pest Control. Get the bugs out. United Community Bank services are designed to keep you in the game when you are on the go. With online and mobile banking, that's nothing but net to friendly services you can count on from the leader of community banking. Choosing UCB is always a slam dunk. Visit a location near you with branches in Bushnell, Colchester, and 2 in Macomb. UCB is member FDIC. Heil Enterprises and Heil Trucking can take your product down the road near or far, and also offers top-notch heavy-duty truck and trailer repair. Second-generation business continues to grow and continues to support local athletics. See them or give them a call at 309-775-3333. Lawson into the net with it and makes it 16-12 as Sadie Allen now serves for West Prairie just across the net. And Essex just got a finger to her, or kind of the hand on it, and served it past her and down. 17-12. West Prairie in the advantage here. Serve goes on the way again, 17-12. Gorsuch up with it. Now to Busby, played by Allen. Over for Welsh, and she'll put it past Busby and good. Makes it a 18-12 advantage here for the Cyclones of West Prairie. They lead it here by a score of 18-12. Allen. Again, line drive. Essex sends it back across to Venonic. And Hood able to dive it at the floor, but couldn't get it adjusted to it. 18-13. The side out goes back over to South Fulton. Allie Fosdick serving it here for the Rebels. Her serve deep off Welsh left side. Venonic high up in the air for Clark. She'll bring it through and drop it down and good. Annika Clark earns the side out for West Prairie. As Maddie Hood will go out, Janie Phelps will come in for West Prairie. 19-13 advantage for the Cyclones. Phelps sends it through, serve off of Lawson, tried to one-hand it. And an ace for Janie Phelps makes it 20-13. We've got a substitution coming in for South Fulton. Number 14, that is Mallory Sutton, a freshman, placing Busby. 20-13 the lead. Again, touchdown lead for the Cyclones. Served by Phelps, that one high off of Ratcliffe. Gorsuch under it. Essex sends it through. And we've got a net violation on West Prairie. And a side out for South Fulton. Served by the Rebels. France to Venonic now set in the middle. Clark taps it through. Lawson a one-handed save. Nice attempt by Gorsuch, but they can't get it across. And it makes it 21-14. Another substitution here. Gorsuch going out as Chloe Van Pelt comes in. Welsh. And somebody getting told to put the mask back on. Welsh through with it off of Lawson and down. An ace for Welsh. She's had enough aces, might have four of a kind. Welsh again, back row. Lawson going to pop it backwards. Ratcliffe can't get to it. 23-14. Sadie Taylor Richardson will check in for West Prairie as Sadie Allen will go out and have to do the switcheroo with the libero. Welsh serves off Lawson. That's going to come back over and be out of bounds. It is game end or match point for the Cyclones. They lead it here, 24-14. Welsh line drive right side. Why not finish it with an ace? 25-14 and 25-10, 25-14. The final in this one as the Cyclones will win it in two as they take home the match here. We're going to be back in just a moment. We'll wrap things up and get ready for the varsity match. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
McDonough District Hospital's Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center was built for one goal: to strengthen women's health services in the region's premier facility. Our dedicated staff, past and present, delivered generations of MDH babies, and now in the new Women's Center, our staff is ready to deliver the next generation and beyond. Come visit the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center and see for yourself the MDH difference.
Back here as we going to take a break and get back for the varsity match. Do you want to thank Square Music Company now for instruments, gear, lessons, service, and more, located at 122 North Side Square in Macomb. Call the Macomb store at 309-431-5484. You can also visit the Quincy location at 725 North Hampshire Street. You can also find them online at squaremusic.com. Also, farmers and merchants, State Bank of Bushel, been servicing the local community's needs for a personal and business bank. It's a home and agricultural lending and trust department for over 100 years. Stop by the main branch at 484 East Main in Bushnell or their drive-up facility on Cole Street. F&M, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender. That is game number one, the JV game in the books. We're going to step aside and we'll be back for game number two of the night. That is the varsity contest. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.